is a review video on solving systems of equations by graphing. I'm calling this pirate math because X marks the spot. So you'll notice this neat picture right here. This is the Alyssa in Galveston. This is the official tall ship of Texas. And it's really cool because it looks like a pirate ship. Okay. Continuing along with our pirate theme, this is a picture of Jean Lafitte's house, or the remains of it, or the remains of what was built over the top of Jean Lafitte's house in Galveston. Now, Jean Lafitte was a famous pirate. I think he called himself a privateer because he was kind of a double agent. He was a spy. He worked for the, I think he worked for the U.S. government and for the Mexican government, and they were trying to, like, fight Spain. Either that or he worked for the U.S. and Spain was trying to fight Mexico. I think he worked for Mexico, though. Anyway, he was a double agent. He did all kind of stuff. But he also was one of the founders of Galveston. And this is what's left of his house in Galveston, actually, which is really neat. My theory is that there's probably buried treasure underneath it, but, you know, it's not mine, so I can't go digging around. It's also fenced off, so I'd probably get in trouble. Enough of that. So we have these two systems. We have y equals 2x minus 1. And then we have this other one that's y equals negative 1/2 x plus 1. So what we're going to do, we could solve this the way we were doing before, and we could use elimination or substitution, but sometimes you want to solve by graphing. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to treat these like any other lines. So this first one I'm going to do in red. I'm going to bring this down here. Okay, so if you look at this, like our normal form of a line is y equals mx plus b. This is just the same stuff we've been doing since Algebra 1 or possibly before. Our m is our slope, tells us how steep it is. Our b is our y-intercept, which tells us where it crosses the y-axis. So in this case, our slope is a 2. So the m is just whatever's out front of your x. So in this case, it's a 2. Our intercept is a negative 1. So when we want to graph this, we go over to our graph and we say, okay, our intercept is negative 1, so we're going to go on the y-axis. We're going to put a dot at negative 1. That's right here. Then we're going to use our slope. Our slope is just our rise over run. So this is like 2 up, 1 over. So in other words, up 2 to the right 1. So this rise over run. So we're going to go up 2, right 1, we put a dot. Up 2, right 1, we put another dot. And you keep doing that. And then we're going to draw a line. So let me change colors here. We have red. We're going to start here and we just draw our line. There we go. Okay, so that one's done. Now we're going to look at our other graph. Let's make that purple. I like having colors because we could tell these things apart. Okay, so in this one, we also have our y equals mx plus b. So our m, again, is our number out front of our x. Well, in this case, it's a negative 1/2. So our slope is negative 1/2. Our intercept is a positive 1. So with a slope of 1/2, this means that we're going to go down 1, right 2. And we're going to start all of that at a positive 1. So on the y-axis, we're going to go up to a positive 1. We're going to put a dot. So now we're going to draw our line. We go down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. Now we're going to draw a purple line through there. So we'll start here. We'll connect our little dots. Yay, we drew a line. Okay, so the solution to these equations, what we're looking for is we're looking for where our x's and our y's are the same, right? Because when you solve these, we get one value for x, we get one value for y, and if you plug it into either equation, it works. So that means that our x and y are the same for both of these. Well, with these two lines here, the only place where the x and y are both the same is where they cross. Let me put that in green. So right here is where they cross, so that's the solution. Solution. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for where they cross. So in this case, we just have to estimate it. It doesn't look like, I mean, it's somewhere between 0 and 1 on the x-axis, somewhere between 0 and 1 on the y-axis. So it's a decimal somewhere. At this, like for right now, for what we're doing, I don't really care what that is, but if you estimate it, we would actually care. So it would be like a 0.8, say, and a 0.7. That's just a guess. I'm not really sure. If we solved it, if we solved it algebraically, we'd get the exact answer. The main thing we're learning right here, though, is we just want to know that the solution is where they cross. So that is our solution. So you can practice those on your own. Here, I'll give you a couple more. So let's say, let's say you have a 2y minus 4x equals 6. And then let's say you have 3x plus 2y equals 10. Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to put that in our y equals mx plus b form. So if I go through that, so with the first one, let me put that in blue this time. I like colors. So we have 2y minus 4x equals 6. We want the y all by itself, so we're going to add our 4 to both sides. Do that in a different color. So add 4x. So now we have 2y, the x's cancel, equals 4x plus 6. We divide by 2. We divide this one by 2 and this one by 2. We end up with y equals 2x plus 3. So now our slope is a 2. Our intercept is a 3. So we could graph that. Now let's get the other one situated. So we have, I'm going to move this up just slightly so I can make myself more room. Okay, we have 3x plus 2y. 3x plus 2y equals 10. We're going to subtract our 3x. So we have 2y equals negative 3x plus 10. Now we're going to divide by 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. And we end up with y equals negative 3 over 2x. And we want that to stay in a fraction because it's going to make it so much easier for us to graph, plus 5. So now our slope is negative 3 over 2. Our intercept is 5. So we go over here and we draw these. So here's our y-axis. Here's our x-axis. So the first one, we have an intercept at 3. So that would be here. And then a slope of 2. So it would be here and here and here. Let me draw a line. I'm kind of rushing through this so that I don't take too long on this video, because I know everybody's going to get, we'll get bored before too long. Okay, so like, it'll look something like this. The next one, we finished out in red, so let's do that. We have an intercept of 5, so that would be right here. And then we're going down 3, right 2. So down 3, right 2 would put it here. Another one would be here. So let me connect those points. That's my stretching dog that you hear in the background. Okay. And that's this one. So the solution then would be where they cross. And that would be right here. So that's like, say 1/2. It looks like in the x direction, it looks like it's over 1/2. So this is just an estimate. So we're at 1/2 and we're at 4 up. So that would be our answer.